So, Jacob's got 2 wives. Cannot imagine this man's life. I love Michelle. I love you so much. But I think having 2 wives that were sisters, we've had this conversation. For me to be married like you and Athena, or you and Angela, life would not be happy. I don't think so. So, when the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So Rachel has no kids, and Leah, the wife that Jacob doesn't really love that much, has kids like crazy. So she has kid number 1, and she says, it's because the Lord has seen my misery. Kids number 2, because the Lord has heard that I am not loved. Because she has kid number 3. Now at least my husband will become attached to me. I've given him 3 sons. Then she got another kid. 4. This time I will praise the Lord. So Leah has 4 boys, and Rachel 0. When Rachel saw that she was not bearing Jacob any kids, she became jealous. And she said to Jacob, "Give me children or I'll die!" Exclamation point. Jacob became angry with her. Jacob became angry with her and said, "Am I in place of God, who has kept you from having children?" Then she said, "Here is Bilhah, my maidservant. Make her your wife." So now he has 3 wives. So he made her his wife, and she had... and she became pregnant and bore him a son. Then Rachel felt better, and then Bilhah got pregnant again and gave him another kid. And then Leah, she had 4 boys, but she got to where she couldn't have kids. And then she gave Jacob her maidservant. So now Jacob has 4 wives. And the maidservant, Leah's servant, Zilpah, bore Jacob a son. So he's having all these kids by all these different ladies. Right? And can't imagine. Life would be fairly complicated. So, things aren't real, I don't know, kind of wonderful at home. He has lots of kids. Having kids is cool. And hopefully all the ladies try to get along for the most part. But I'm sure that there's jealousy and weird stuff going on. So, eventually, Rachel gives birth again. She gets pregnant again. She gives birth to Joseph. Joseph, one of my favorite guys in the whole Bible. We're going to talk about him. He's awesome. Right? So, Joseph and Jacob said to Laban, "All right, buddy. Send me away so I can go back to my homeland. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served you." I guess it's been, the 14 years is up. "And I'll be on my way. You know how much I've worked and what I've done for you." Alright, but it's time to go, basically. So, Laban don't want to lose him because he's been very, very blessed. Because God promised Jacob he was going to bless him. So, since he was working for Laban, Laban was really, really getting blessed. He's like, "Name your wages, I'll pay you anything, and then I will pay them." So Jacob said, "Alright, this is what we'll do. So Jacob said to Laban, Laban said to Jacob, "What shall I give you?" he asked. Jacob said, "Don't give me anything, but if you will do this one thing for me, I will go on tending your flocks and watching over them. Let me go through all the flocks today and remove from them every speckled or spotted sheep, every dark-colored lamb, and every spotted or speckled goat." So he has sheep, goats, and lambs. And he's taken speckled or spotted, and out of the lambs he's taken the dark ones. Okay? Those are going to be my wages. And that way we'll be able to really identify which ones belong to me. And you can't say I'm stealing from you. Any goat that's in my possession, not in your herd, but in my herd, and that is not speckled or spotted or dark colored, you can say it's stolen. You consider it stolen because it would belong to you. I only get the speckled, spotted, or dark. Okay? Those are my wages. And I'll go on working for you if we can agree that that's going to be my wages. So they had all these different colors of sheep and everything. So solid whites, any that have stripes, as long as they don't have speckles or spots or they're lighter colors, those all belong to Laban. Speckled and spotted, the dark ones belong to Jacob. Okay? So what the Lord did for him is every year when all the sheep and lambs and goats would get pregnant and they'd have kids, the little ones would always come out speckled or spotted or dark. And then not very many would come out to where Laban would get him. So Jacob got more and more and more and more and more animals that belonged to him, and Laban got less and less and less and less that belonged to him. Right? And there's no way Laban could argue with him because they had agreed. Right? But Laban still kept trying. He'd always change it. Every year he'd try to change it. And he'd say, okay, no, we're not doing it that way anymore. Next year it's going to be speckled and spotted and darks are mine, and you get all the others. So that they would change it, and then the very next year there'd be no speckled, spotted, or dark given. All the animals would have light colors and all stripes. Right? So every time Laban would change it, the Lord would still bless Jacob because he had promised he was going to bless Jacob. And then Jacob had this weird thing he would do. He would, whenever it would change to where he's supposed to get all the spotted and speckled, he would put these sticks next to where the sheep and them were drinking water, and he would take all the bark off of them to where they'd have stripes on them, and he thought that if they saw the stripes, it would somehow help them have babies that would be spotted and speckled. I have no idea how that helped. I doubt it did. I think that the Lord just took care of Jacob. So, in this way, the man grew exceedingly prosperous and came to own a very large flock. And basically, mainly, God just blessed him.